You with a man for 5 to 10 years with no ring. You are not his dream girl. He's still out there looking for his wife.
Facts. And the one that he won't, he gonna marry her ass within 1 to 6 months when he get with her. He's dragging your ass through the mud. You giving him everything you can for nothing. Because he can, a clean slate. He gonna walk his ass away, his happy ass, with some other girl and leave you stuck and hurt. Save all of that drama and deal with it the right way. The hell he waiting on anyway? The world to end before he marry you? Get it right, ladies.
She waited for him through the struggle phase, through the excuses, through the one-day promises. She thought loyalty would secure her future until he gave her dream life to someone else. Let's talk about the psychology of the placeholder woman and why some men will waste your time only to give everything to the next one. Hey Rych Babes, it's Robin Milan and welcome back to A Rich Girl's Glow Up. What you're about to see isn't just betrayal, it is a pattern, a wound, a reality too many women are forced to live through. And underneath is a psychological truth most people never talk about. So let's get right into it, alright? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I will be back shortly.
What's like too long of a wait?
5 years.
5 years? For real?
5 years, no ring. What the fuck are you doing?
For real? You think so?
And he won't lie. And he won't lie. This is ladies, men, they, them. After 5 years, if it ain't no ring, no proposal, give it up. Give it up. And I 100% agree with Duke. Because me and my friend, we have had this discussion time after time after time. We've always said 5 years. If I'm with somebody for 5 years and they ain't proposed, and we ain't even talking about no marriage, no nothing, I'm out the door, baby. Cause what are we here for? Or what are we really doing? You get another thing also too, like when you first start dating someone, like the questions that need to be asked is like, hey, you know, do you ever see yourself married? X, Y, and Z. Because if they told you no in the beginning, you need to leave. Especially, you need to leave if you want to be married. Stop sticking around thinking that you can change somebody's mind. No. We're not doing that no more. It's 2024. Don't stick around. If they told you straight up, nah, I don't see myself getting married, and you want to get married, baby, that person ain't for you. It's time to head on out and go and, you know, manifest and meet somebody else. And, you know, don't waste your time on that person, because you're going to waste your time. They just told you they don't want to be married. So why stick around? You know?
This is why a man marries the other girl within 3 months. You know how often we see a man who's been with one woman for 5 to 7 years and everybody assumes that at some point he will marry her. But then he doesn't. He breaks up with her because he has fallen in love with this other girl, and within 2 to 3 months he marries her. And it's not that the other girl is better or that she gives him more stability, because how can she even do that within 3 months? No, this is all about him, because men are hunters and he likes the new challenge. He will do everything to win over this new girl, because he's going after the dopamine hits. And the kind of men who let this happen are men who've been way too comfortable in their current relationship. And that's why I always say, never ever give everything of yourself to a man. Don't share bathroom stories with him, because that's just unsexy, and he should be your lover first and foremost. Don't go after him, and make sure that he takes his vitamins every day, because then you're turning into his mother. Always make sure that you spend quality time together and you're going in the same direction in life. And always stay busy with your own self-development, because when a woman focuses on herself, her man will focus on her. But the most important thing for a man to stay interested is that he spends a substantial amount of his money on you, because every man values what he invests in, and that will also make it way harder for him to leave.
When you guys start dating, what's the timeline for proposal? Well, if it's been 8 years, sis, that man ain't marrying you. You might as well just get comfortable with the fact that y'all are just going to end up together in common law marriage. Because that man, if y'all been dating for 8 years and he hasn't proposed yet, that man, deep down, secretly thinks he can do better than you. That one day when his potential unlocks, he'll get a better woman. That's why he isn't married. That is why he hasn't proposed to you yet, honey. That's the reason. All right?
Okay, babe, I need to say something out loud that we've all felt, but most of us were just too ashamed to admit. There is nothing more devastating than waiting years for a man to be ready, only for him to marry the next woman in a matter of months. You start asking yourself, was I not enough? Was it really about timing, or was it me? Did I waste my best years? Let me stop you right here, because what you're feeling is grief, not just grief over the relationship, but grief over who you became while waiting. And today we are not just venting, we are healing. We are unpacking the real psychology behind why this happens so often. So let me just break this down for you. The first one is the placeholder effect. Some women are never chosen, not because they aren't worthy, but because they're used as the emotional holding place. He practices being loved. He learns how to be comfort. He gets access to loyalty and sex and companionship, and still tells you, I'm not ready. But readiness isn't about time. It is about a choice. And when he finally makes that choice, it's with somebody else. That's not your failure. That is his pattern. The next thing is that he never planned to choose you in the first place. This is the part that hurts the most, babe. Some men knew from the very beginning that they will never marry you, but you made life easier for them. You helped them level up. You stood beside him through the struggle. You fixed him emotionally and spiritually and maybe even financially, okay? But he was always going to reward someone else because he didn't see you as the final destination. He saw you as the pit stop. And that's not fair. That's not right, but that is absolutely real, okay? Another thing is that the weaponization of loyalty. Society tells us that, a good woman waits, that being patient and nurturing and understanding will eventually get us that ring. But here's the real freaking truth. Loyalty in the wrong direction is self-abandonment. You stayed loyal not just to him, but to the fantasy. You believed that love meant endurance, and he took advantage of that. He got the benefits of a wife with no responsibility, okay? And another thing, why he moved on so fast. It wasn't love at first sight with her. It was convenience. It was timing. It was performance. He didn't change. He just decided to perform commitment for a woman he feared losing. He knew she wouldn't wait. He knew she had standards. He knew if he didn't act right, he'd lose her. So he did what he could have done for you, but never chose to. That's not love. That is fear-based compliance, and it won't last, okay? So listen, you were never the problem. Please stop replaying your mistakes, quote unquote. He didn't choose her because she was better. He chose her because she was new and because he was done using you. Let that really sink in. He drained you emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. And when you were all empty, he left. And she got the full cup that you filled. But she'll never understand the cost of it, okay? Another thing is the emotional labor and the build a man trap. You thought that your effort would earn love. You thought if you held it down, he'd level up and choose you. But the truth is, a man who needs to be built will never feel ready, because it's not about being ready. It is about never seeing you as his woman. And you cannot fix that at all. Another thing of why it feels like betrayal, because it really is. It really is betrayal. It is the betrayal of time, of dreams, of identity. You didn't just lose a man, you lost the future that you planned, the family that you envisioned, the return on the investment you were promised. That is a psychological rupture. It's grief of the deepest kind. So if you've been feeling numb, rageful, confused, you're not overreacting. You're just in mourning. So what healing looks like now. Healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means accepting that his next chapter has nothing to do with your worth. It means grieving the years, but not resenting yourself for being loyal. You did what you thought love required, and now you get to require more. So you didn't lose, you learned. You learned to see the red flags earlier. You learned to stop justifying breadcrumbs. You learned the difference between effort and manipulation. And most of all, you learned that being chosen means nothing if you had to shrink to be picked. So you didn't miss out on a future. You actually dodged a life of always waiting. So to my rich babes going through this, I know it hurts. I know it feels like everything that you poured into was wasted, but your time wasn't wasted. It was research. It was redirection. It was the death of a version of you who thought love meant sacrificing herself. So let her go and watch what happens when you stop settling, because your story isn't over. It's about to start in a way that doesn't require pain as proof of love. And if he couldn't recognize your value, that's his loss to live with, not your burden to carry. You're not behind. You're just beginning. Okay. So if this hits deep in any way, it's because your healing season is here. You've been a loyal woman, the patient one, the ride or die, but now, girl, now it is time to become the version of you that never has to beg to be loved, right? So the Rich Mindset Mastery course drops July the 27th, and this course will change everything. We're going to be diving into the identity shifting, the self-worth repair, subconscious rewiring, and becoming the woman who chooses herself first every single time. So join the wait list and get ready for the transformation at richmilanco.com. You're going to see a pop-up. All right. Make sure you put your information in there, and that way you will be added to the wait list. So become the woman who walks in a room and make people wonder. Secure the bag, protect your peace, and stay rich, rich babes. Love you.